Hello, everyone. My name's Artemis Black, and welcome to a very short Friday night Fumbbl wrap up. No games in this. I just felt like the last season deserved a wrap up. It got lost in my illness and ADHD, and we never finished it up. We are starting again with a new season, but I figured that season 17 deserved a wrap up. Um, so let's have a look straight away at how that season ended. And there we go. Bazakastine took the crown. Didn't need to finish his final games. An incredible win rate there. Um, he says, because I haven't worked it out yet. 87.1. One of the highest win rates that's ever won a black box trophy. Look, there are caveats, obviously. In this case, Bazakastine didn't actually play a lot of games in the overnight slot, but doesn't play hardly any games in the prime time slot either. So I did have someone message me, and I meant to get back to him, and I didn't, about the overnight slot comments that I make. It doesn't mean overnight. I should probably have explained. I mean, I have explained that, but just not. It's just shorthand to say overnight because Americans are obviously um, an issue with this format. Not their fault, just the way that it works out. But it basically just means if a small pool, right? And the small pool runs all the way through UK daytime. There aren't many people playing in UK days either. And at the moment, the stats are all over the place anyway, because there's a huge influx of newer players for third season. Black Box Trophy, I'm not certain has ever been so popular. But the problem is new players are bad players. There's not like an influx of top level players from around the world. It's just new people wanting to try things out. They're all 30, 40% coaches, which are essentially 90% wins for good players. So like, and then for like second tier players, like 60% players, their runs are massive as well. We've got 60% coaches running 70 odd percent win rates in the current environment. Lots and lots of newer players. So stats are all up in the air at the moment, but that doesn't really matter. Like everyone's in the same pool. We all had the same opportunities. So Bazakastine, this doesn't take away from his win in any way. This is you still have to win the games, and Bazakastine won Black Box Trophy 17. So congratulations to Bazakastine, like an excellent win rate, incredible win rate. Um, he ended up with top Necro and top Wood Elves, both of which ended up with broken teams. Second place goes to FX. FX with a win rate of, we can do this live, 43, 13, 4, 82.5, a big drop off there. And then third place goes to J Leave with a win rate of 82.5, the exact same win rate, because of course he's got the exact same score, and they both have one top placement. FX with top humans, J Leave with top Nurgle, and then a fantastic showing from X-Wing. Out of nowhere from X-Wing, 42.99 is 77.5 win rate, way above his normal standing. So that's what I mean, right? These players haven't taken the opportunities provided to them and beaten the newer coaches. You have to do it. It's not like it's free. You still have to play the game of Blood Bowl and concentrate and win. And then Thorin sneaks in with fifth place to round out the top five. And then Wilkin takes the Penguin Academy prize by coming in sixth with a score of 53. Everyone who scored 50 and over here should be proud of themselves, right? Regardless of anything else. Anyone who scored higher than they've scored before, anyone who has a win rate significantly higher than their normal win rate, all of those people should be proud of themselves. That's the point of playing a long form competition like this. It gives you a good benchmark for how you're currently playing in an open pool, and because it's 60 games, your spins should roughly even out. There are time zone issues, as we've said, but there's, nothing we can do about that. So next up is Doc Lystria, who's over 50, John Dacre, who's over 50, Force Unlocked, who's over 50, Nama, who's over 50, and Talon Bay sneaks in with the last 50 score. Well done to Talon. Great snotling run, I believe, really helped him out there. Yeah, 13-1-1 with snotlings is fantastic. And then anyone in the 40s, now is your chance, right? Especially in the higher 40s. We have like Rib and JMC and Ralph and Spooky. Anyone in the higher 40s, their new goal now is 50, isn't it? Like if you got close, that's your new goal. Minor goal should be to beat your best current score, but like try and get these like 45 and then 50, etc. 50 is basically like, I can challenge. You have to be over 50. 55 is you can challenge for the win. So 50 is the first one to challenge, to be seen as someone like people don't want to spin into. And then we go down into the 40 to 45, which are good runs. 40, we have Denbeek at 43.5 representing the PA there. I'm looking at the top races as well. I probably should have called these out. So Wilkin was top High Elves. Thorin was top Gnomes. X-Wing also was top Snotlings. So incredible Snotling runs from X-Wing and Talon Bay. X-Wing equal top Tomb Kings, because I can see Wizard down there being top Tomb Kings. We have Rib being Underworld and Corn, which is a crazy pair to be top of, to be all the way up here at almost 50 points with Corn in there. Ralph with top Renegades. John Dacre with top Undead. Dan with top Dwarves. Case with top Norse, which is surprising. Carnis with top Black Orcs. Kaju Ken, unfortunately for him, was top Nurgle, but J-Leave equaled top Nurgle, and unfortunately the tiebreaker unfortunately for Kaju Ken, the tiebreaker is squad score, and obviously J-Leave's squad score way up here compared to Kaju Ken's. And then if we scroll all the way down, we got Marcos Grand with equal top humans. We got me with top orcs. I only played half a season, but I did manage to get top orcs, like the hardest race in my opinion. So I'll take that a bit as a little point of pride. Juiced with top chaos. Sideshow Bob with top ogres. Spinball with top nobility. Marcos Grand with top dark elves. Well done to him. Spelldarren with top pro elves. Jormungandr, who is Teox, with top goblins. Malmir takes top Old World Alliance. Nama tied top undead with John Dacre, but is all the way down here. Kaju Ken gets the Chorfs. What was his run with those Chorfs? Not even good. 8-4-3. Chorfs slept on, Soupy. I completely agree. We'll have a quick nose at my Chorf run now in season 18 to show that Chorfs are slept on. Chorfs are decent in this format. Teox also top Berts. And then all the way down here, we have Mike the Machine with top Rats. And you might think, oh, what's he doing all the way down here? It's because he only played so many games. He went 13-1-1 with the Rats. So, like, Mike the Machine, getting back into Blood Bowl, was one of the top players in the world. And Thorin with top Amazons all the way down here. But we know Thorin is capable because we just saw him all the way at the top. This is just from people playing, space squads. 13-1-1 is an incredible run with the Amazons. Halflings is Rick. Didn't even have to finish the squad. Kind is Vampires, which also had a real good run. 12-1 True is a great vampire run. Nama equals the top Dark Elves, as does Mario. Sideshow Bob with top Lizards. I don't think we've seen Lizards. Crazy to be down at 210th place and have top Lizards, right? I think that's it. We had everyone now. There's no tops down here. So there we go. There's your wrap up for 2017 season 17 of the Black Box Trophy. Congratulations to all these coaches. It was a great run. I'm sorry that I didn't challenge that season. I just didn't play enough. Too ill. I'll be back this season. I am back this season, as we can have a quick nose at. There I am right there with a decent start to a run. And as you can see, it's mostly Chorfs. Look at that. 11-1-1 with the Chorfs. Chorfs are slept on. Like, Chorfs are pretty decent. So I guess I can also use this as a quick nose at the rules for season 18, make the video a little longer, not have to put up 2 videos. So these are the rules for season 18. The budget has gone up to 11 points because we've expanded the tiers. We completely changed the tiers from last season. The tiers from last season were based completely on Games Workshop tiers, which, you know, meh. They don't really know what they're doing. So completely new season, and the top tier costs 5, which is why we've got 11 points. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a 0 tier of goblins and halflings, not gnomes and not ogres, which is interesting. I do think some of these tiers are still wrong. I do think dwarves shouldn't be in tier 2. I don't think that wood elves, honestly, should be in tier 1. These look okay. The tier 3, I think you could probably put Berts down in tier 5. Like, some of these could be moved around, but no major complaints. It's not like last season. I think Nurgle could probably be moved up to tier 2. They don't have a great start, and they're very overplayed right now, which is probably playing into why they're in tier 3. But for the top players, Nurgle are doing okay. So this means, I think I worked it out, you can have 5 squads, which is fine, right? No one's playing 300 games of BBT. But you can certainly make at least 2 competitive squads out of this, and then you can make 3 other squads where, you know, you can just make up to play some of the teams that you want to play to go for a run for Steel Gauntlet. My squad, I think, my main squad is made up of Orcs, Nurgle, Chorfs, and Black Orcs. I went for a bash heavy main squad, 5, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, so that's the main one. And then the second one was High Elves, Chaos, that's 8, Snotlings, that's 11, and Halflings. So yeah, that's my second squad. I think that's a competitive squad. People might wrinkle their nose at halflings, but I'm a 70% halfling coach. It won't drag my win rate down too much. And if I can do that with 70%, I'll also get the point, right? Because no one will beat me with the halflings, so I get an extra point on top of that, which makes up for only being 70% win rate. You get that free extra point. It's very handy. Not a great start to some of those runs I've had. We'll talk about that when we have our first Friday Night Fumbbl of season 18. Other than that, I'm not going to look at the season 18 rankings right now. We'll do that in the first match. So, still recommended. Nothing about the changes have put me off playing Black Box Trophy. Like, it's just caveats, it's just warnings. Yes, like, I still do think, sorry John, I do think it's easier to play outside of prime time. Not, you know, to the point where very bad players will suddenly be doing very well, but I just think that it's not a coincidence that players who normally have like a 60-odd% win rate in a spin pool have a 70-odd% win rate playing off peak. And now, you know, players who have a 60-odd% win rate have a 70-odd% win rate in general because of the big pool of new players. So it's harder to get into Steel Gauntlet. Lots of 60-odd% coaches are now competing with the top coaches because there's just a line you hit where it's just you only lose the dice-ins. So lots more big runs of like 13-1-1 type levels are happening from players who don't normally pull that because they're getting, bigger spin pools of newer players and therefore easier matches. But that everyone's in that pool, right? Everyone who wants to compete, all of the top players are in that pool. So it's not like anything's unfair. It's just a bit odd. That's all. It's just a bit out of the norm. So still recommended if you want to practice blind spin Blood Bowl in a good format, the best format available at the moment. This is the competition to be in, and come join us. We'll see you there.